Hello guys, Dave Rossi here, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. And for today's video we're going to have a gameplay with USS Spurance, which is basically a free USS Fletcher. So it's the current Battle Pass ship, you can buy it for 60 tokens. Friendly reminder, the free players will get 70 tokens, so it's basically free. You don't need to buy the Battle Pass to buy it. You will see that in terms of class, it's very similar to Fletcher. In terms of armaments also, it's not the same amount of slots, but it's very similar. So basically you get a Fletcher for free instead of paying between 1 and 200 euros. In terms of durability, you get 442 HP, which is a bit low in my opinion compared to the other ships. For example, Fletcher has 455. And other ships have, for example, Zoom Watts have 474,000 and Chabelenko 461, etc. In terms of speed, it's the same as Fletcher, 25.3, and it's a great speed for destroyer. It's one of the high speeds you can get. Knowing that Fletcher is pretty big for destroyer. Then in terms of maneuverability, it's 9.1 versus 9.68 on Fletcher. So again, maneuverability is pretty low compared to the others, especially Zoom Watt with 11.7, but it's pretty similar to what Ningbo has. So yeah, it's maybe pretty average or low average. Then in terms of visual range, you get 11.2 versus 11.6 for Fletcher. Again, you can see that these stats are pretty similar or pretty close, but Spurance is always a bit lower in terms of stats compared to USS Fletcher because it's free, so you cannot get a copy paste of a paid ship. But yeah, again, the visual range is pretty basic. It's not like below average or above average. So we conclude the stats part. On the armament side, it's some of the armaments are very good, others are not good in my opinion. So the double missile slots plus the single one is pretty good because you can combine anti-ships missiles and anti-aircraft missiles. So you can do that on Fletcher, you can't do that on Chabelenko and on Ningbo, for example. So this is very good for this ship. Then you of course have 3 cannons. Then you have 2 torpedoes. So that's the only part of this ship that I don't like is torpedoes, because if you time them correctly, it's a direct hit. But if you miss the timing, so if you shoot too early or too late, the submarine will basically either flare them or hide behind a rock and avoid them. Same thing for a ship. If you engage the ship at, for example, 5 or 6 kilometer range, the torpedoes will get there in 5 or 6 business days, which is too long to deal consistent damages in my opinion. Whereas a grenade launcher on Fletcher and Chabelenko will deal direct damages, especially if it's a laser, grenade launcher. Then of course you have an helicopter, and another interesting part on this ship is the double Seahawk autocannon and the double Crawl autocannon. So you can deal at the same time damages to air and surface targets and submarines, which is pretty good in my opinion compared to, for example, something like Fletcher that can only deal damage to aircraft and ships with its autocannons, and Ningbo that can only deal damages to subsurface ships. Then you have 4 unlock slots, 2+2, which is pretty good in my opinion because you can choose whatever combination you want. Whereas on Fletcher you're blocked with a single 3 slots, and for example on Ningbo you only have double slots and another double locked AA, which is pretty mid in my opinion. So overall this ship is very good for free. You should definitely get this ship and waste or spend 60 coins on it. So as you could see, it's basically something that is pretty similar to what other destroyer offers, with some differences, and it's very similar to Fletcher. It's not better because it doesn't have grenade launchers, but it's pretty good on all the other sides, knowing the missile slots, the autocannon slots, and the anti-aircraft slots. Anyways, that's all for me. Sorry, I talked a lot, but I wanted to present this ship very accurately. I hope you will have an excellent end of the week, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.